think he plays the role really well, like a nice solid. He feels like a Gotham gangster. So she tries to kill him because while Falcone gets distracted by one of his guys, because the news report is this is where it's revealed that um, it basically all comes out. Falcone had Bruce's parents killed, and all his secrets were out. While this is happening, Selena tries to kill him, but Selena takes down one of Falcone's workers, but then Falcone ends up getting the jump on her, ends up almost strangling her. Bruce beats him up. Um, but then while Falcone, because before that, he ends up stopping Selena from killing him. Batman arrests Falcone, who ends up getting arrested. But while this is happening, um, Riddler snipes Falcone, and Falcone dies. Batman and Gordon chase him, and basically, and this is the other issue. Why did Riddler give himself up? Because and then we get the scene where he gets arrested, and I'll admit the scene like where the camera pans to his tea or coffee. I think it's one of the two, and it has like the question mark, and I think that was a good shot. But why did he give himself up? He didn't have to. They didn't have to do this weird. God. So he has himself arrested, and ends up getting incarcerated, and then this is where it's revealed because we get a scene of him and Batman talking. Well, before that, they're all at Edward's house, and they find like a bunch of his ramblings, and then they find his last post where, oh my god, why this really is 4chan killer. It just I don't know why they went this route with Riddler. I would have rather them, like I said, you could have made this as someone even said Calendar Man. You could have, there's a couple of characters you could have made this instead of Riddler, because it just doesn't work for me. This crazed social media guy. And I get it. Maybe they're trying to feel like it's kind of realistic, but so Batman goes to to Arkham, and initially you can get the vibe that Riddler is a fan of Batman. So, but Batman ends up telling him, like, no, you're crazy. I'm not like you. And then this is where we get the reveal of the second plot, where he has a bunch of bombs strapped, a car bombs around Gotham, which starts a flood, which we get like that flood scene. And I'll admit, the scene where the water bursts in is done really well, but it just like it didn't know when to end. Like it just, because after this, then they go to the shelter with Mayor Bellmeal, who Gordon suspects that because they're after that a bunch of people start rallying who are like Riddler fanboys, essentially like a Riddler cult. Start shooting up the place. They shoot at Mayor McNeil, who survives, or Mayor Bell. I'll just call her that. And then Batman confronts them, fights a bunch of them, and ends up getting in a dangerous spot. Catwoman helps him out. Then so they take out a bunch of guys, and then one of them says, "I'm vengeance," which Batman said earlier in the movie, which I guess started Batman's little change. Like, I gotta be more like a traditional hero to become a thing that inspires, not just vengeance. And then so he saves a bunch of people, and then they can sequence him like helping out people out of the rubble and stuff. And then he's giving a speech while Selena leaves, and then we see Nashton back at Arkham talking with somebody, and it's revealed to be the Joker, which that was clearly a studio call. Why did they throw that in there? You could have. You would have been better off just saying you could have been fine. Like, yeah, Joker exists in this universe. That's it. We don't need to see him. That just felt like we had to throw that in there because it's Batman. We have to reference the Joker. It felt tacked on. It wasn't needed. But other than that, that was the Batman. It's a solid film. It's a solid crime noir. I think it's an okay entry in the Batman movies. But it's not my favorite. It is nowhere near, in my opinion, the top echelon of Batman movies. But it was a solid film. Um, Colin Farrell as fucking Penguin was fucking great. He stole the show. Every scene he was in, he carried, in my opinion. Zoe Kravitz was passable as Catwoman, but she didn't do anything for me that stood out. Like Michelle Pfeiffer still like is the best. But maybe if she shows up in another film, we'll see. Um, Jeffrey Wright was fine, but he's not Jim Gordon. Robert Pattinson was fine as Bruce and was better as Batman, but he's still like not in the upper echelon. But I think he's a fine entry in the Batman world, and I wouldn't maybe watch another movie of this. I don't know if I'd go out of my way to watch this again, at least right now anyway. But it's a fine movie, and I think there's definitely some solid action set pieces. The score is great. The main Batman theme is amazing. I'm not gonna lie, that it is really good, and has some really good cinematography. But making Catwoman related to the Falcone, that cringy line from Catwoman, which that's a minor thing, but I had more of a problem with what they did with Riddler. That is not Riddler. I don't know what they were going for. Should have just made a new character, or just make it another character that maybe that could work. Because this is not Riddler. The riddles themselves are good, but no. The detective stuff is easily the best thing in this movie. Is the riddles, the cinematography, and the music are like probably the top things I really love in this movie. But it's not the best Batman movie. Batfleck is still the GOAT, and this isn't me putting down this movie because I'm a Ben Affleck fan, and I'm just mad because of what they did to him. I didn't like what they did to him, but I don't blame Matt Reeves or Robert Pattinson for that. That's not their fault. That's Warner Brothers' fault. But this is a solid movie. I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. I can understand if you give it a bit higher, but that's about where I sit at as a 6.5 because there's some issues I just can't get it above a 7. So, but other than that, I still would recommend watching it, just if you want to get your own opinion on it. But tomorrow I'm gonna have a good laugh and make fun of that another cringy Generation Hope video, and then Monday I'm gonna review a Jackie Chan movie. Just don't know which one yet. I should have an answer by tomorrow. So, but other than that, fuck Warner Brothers, fuck Disney, fuck LaBitch James, fuck Colin Kaepernick, fuck Joy Reid, fuck Seth Rogen, fuck Kevin Smith, and fuck the Biden administration. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace.